Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, if you have bad credit, look, you have to remove that old stuff off the credit report. And the main things I'm talking about is those old addresses and making sure that your name is spelled correctly. All right. And the reason is, if you do that, when the credit bureaus when you challenge the credit bureaus on any of those negative items, because they can't find those old information, they have to take it off because there's nothing matching. Okay. So that's the reason why I tell you have to remove those old addresses, especially with LexisNexis. Because with LexisNexis, this is one of the biggest data collection companies that sell your information to the credit bureaus. All right. And so most people are not aware of that. All right. So LexisNexis, we actually got letters that you can send over to LexisNexis as well as the other credit bureaus to remove negative items. You have to schedule a one-on-one consultation for that. But you have to remove that name and the address. And I'll tell you what would happen. More likely, you're going to see your credit score jump another 30 to 40 points just by removing old addresses and the correction of your name. Most people see between 30 to 40 points just off of that. All right. So that's number one. Number two, you need to stop focusing on the FICO 8 scoring system, which is mainly your major banks. OK, and I'm talking about focusing on like Chase Bank, American Express, Bank of America, any bank that's using FICO 8 scoring system. Just stay away from those when you have bad credit and you're trying to get to the 700s. I have a couple accounts I'm going to tell you where to go that's going to make it much easier. But those like Truist Bank, don't go to Truist Bank. Don't go to Regions Bank, okay? Do not go to those banks. All right, I'm telling you, this is how you go the backdoor way and you actually leverage up. All right. Now, here's the thing about it. The trick to this is disputing all of the negative items. All right. And so that's the reason I tell you to go over to Credit Karma and do that dispute for your Equifax and your TransUnion. Then you also, and I put out a video showing you step by step how to actually do this. So you may want to go back and look at that video because we're planning on taking it down, but it actually walks you through the steps, step by step, how to remove like old addresses and things of that nature. All right. Now, here's the next thing you want to do. After you dispute the negative items with Credit Karma, okay, the reason why is because with Credit Karma, for whatever reason, their system automatically updates. It usually takes 48 to 72 hours. So when you challenge those negative items, then you're going to see a big jump in your Vantage score, okay? And this is another reason I tell you to do not focus on FICO 8 score. You want to focus on your Vantage scoring systems. All right. This is going to get you in the 700s the fastest. All right. So that being said, some of the other things you can do to help yourself is, again, don't know what your budget is. Don't know if anybody around you may have established credit, but adding the authorized users. The authorized users alone, okay, that can boost your credit score anywhere from 25 to 50 points itself with the right type of authorized users. Now, remember, all authorized users are not the same. So do not expect for you to take a brand new authorized user and put it on your credit file and for it to increase your credit score. And here's the reason why. Because some authorized users do not carry over the history. Okay. And then some of the authorized users, they may not have a high enough balance to lower your DTI, your debt to income ratio, because that authorized user are not doing those two things. It's a waste. Okay. It's not helping you. It's just adding on to adding on as a new account and it's re-aging your file. Now, again, with the right authorized user, it's also going to age your credit file. Also, when I tell you to add rental history, that ages your credit file. Also, adding on utilities, that ages your credit file. This is so important, and the reason is because whenever you add new accounts on, again, it lowers the age of the file. So that's the reason why I tell you guys, do not do that. Make sure that when you're adding on new stuff, that you have old stuff that's old enough to cover up for the new stuff that you're adding on. All right. Now, here's the thing about it. You may have like little small, and this is definitely a killer for a lot of people right now. Medical debt that's less than $1,000. They started because of the Trump administration going back to the CFPB and putting medical debt back on the credit file, as well as these buy now, pay now. Okay. And so with these buy now, pay now is when you go take out a loan, you go to the store and they say, hey, do you want to split this up into payments and not pay around? Most people are doing that. However, people are not realizing that when you do that, you're actually maxing out your credit. Okay. So you go to furniture store and they say, do you want to do buy now, pay now? You say, yeah. So they give you get approved for $1,500 for that couch. That couch is $1,500. Yes, you're paying it over a time period, but at the same time, now you just added a maxed out account. So this is dragging down your file. So that's the reason I tell you to make sure that you try to find a loan that does not report to the credit bureaus. All right. This is so important because that loan, and most of them, they're not a whole lot of money, mainly up to $5,000. There are some other ones, but they go into triple digits, and that's the thing about it. But being able to get a loan, and the purpose of that loan is to pay down a lot of your buy now, pay laters. All right. If you pay down those buy now, pay laters, that's hitting your credit file. Okay. This is going to balance out the file. All right. It's also going to put you in a position to where your credit score stays up. All right. And so that's another thing that's very important. So then some of your buy now, pay laters. The best loans that you probably would want to look at is like big buck loans or hard payday loans, something like that. Viva payday loans. Loans that that are not going to report on the credit file, okay? And those are the loans that you take to pay down like your small revolving debt. If I would say less than $1,000, or they'll give you up to $5,000. So trying to pay down multiples of those buy now, pay laters would be definitely to your advantage. All right. And so what happens is that your credit score is going to go up. All right, by paying down those buy now, pay laters and adding on that other stuff. And all of this, most people won't take the steps to do this properly. And so that's the reason they continue to struggle with their credit. Because most of the time, when I tell you guys something, a lot of times this stuff may take maybe less than 30 days. Like with removing the negative items, like the challenging of the negative items and the addresses and stuff, usually something like that may take maybe 72 hours, okay, to get that removed, all right? Also in terms of like challenging the inquiries, I always tell you, call over the phone to challenge the inquiries. Challenging the inquiries, that can also increase your credit score another 15 to 20 points as well. If you need letters for that, we have letters to remove hard inquiries. Okay, it's just stuff like that people are not aware of. Now, in terms of besides the loans, like going after the right type of credit cards, once you have that 700s, now you may want to go over to Navy Federal if you already have an established account with them, and then applying for a credit card. All right. Then you may want to go over to PenFed because Navy Federal uses TransUnion FICO 9. That's the reason I'm saying this. You have a BMO. They use Advantage for TransUnion. You have NASA. They use Advantage for Experian TransUnion. So you have these different institutions that are using these different other services besides the FICO 8 that you can actually take advantage of and level up to be able to get access to higher dollars. Okay. And so credit cards, easier credit cards that you want to go after to give you higher limits is like with Venmo. Most people, when they apply for a Venmo card, it uses a Synchronal Advantage 4. They usually getting above $2,000-$3,000 or more. Okay. Then you got BCU Credit Union. BCU Credit Union is Advantage 3. So that's also a non-geo-restricted credit union. So it's so many advantages just by doing the small stuff. If you stop focusing on Advantage 8 and just focusing on the the FICO 8 and start focusing on the FICO 9 as well as the Advantage 3 and the 4, that's how you actually get more money, because with the Advantage 3 and 4 and your FICO 9, most of that is like with your credit unions, again, with some of your major banks, even PNC. PNC is a FICO 9 institution, right? You also have First National Bank of Omaha. They are FICO 9, right? So being able to get money from those institutions instead of focusing on Bank of America, Chase, American Express, then you can leverage up, because that's a back door when you have bad credit, and that's going to be the fastest way for you to get to the 700 credit score. It doesn't take that long. It's just all in a matter of actually putting this information into play. So if you have questions about the credit repair service that we offer, and it's not a credit repair service at all. All we do is analyze your credit file, and we write the letters for you, and we pass on the letters to you, and you send the letters out. They're just very legal, detailed letters. All right. And so I would tell you again, if you need help with business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.